Next up, we're going to look at LiquidShaper. Now, LiquidShaper has a flanger and a phaser, and it allows us to create kind of effects ranging from those kind of jet engine flanging effects to deep, rich phasing to more general kind of modulation and modulated movement, as well as kind of strange robotic style comb filtering effects. Let's have a look at the parameters to start with. Now, first of all, we can choose whether we want this to work as a flanger or a phaser. We also have the ability to have neither, and that is useful when we're using this in multi-band mode. So let's say we didn't want to have anything going on the low band, we could have the type set to off, and we could use the flanger on, say, the mid band. So let's have a listen to how it sounds first of all. That's our flanger. Let's try the phaser. Now, the difference between these two is that when we're using the flanger, LiquidShaper is going to duplicate the input signal and apply a very short delay to the copy before it's mixed back in with the original. And this temporal offset, i.e. the time offset, is going to cause a comb filtering effect because we're going to get these kind of peaks and troughs within the waveform. Now, we have two different options here in terms of the kind of polarity of this effect, which is the mode. Now, when it's on plus, it means the center frequency is going to control the position of the first peak in the signal. When it's on minus, the center dial is going to control the position of the first notch in the signal. Okay, so when it comes to the phaser, it's a similar principle. It's going to duplicate the input signal, but this time it's going to apply a series of all-pass filters to the copy before mixing that back in with the original. Now, the all-pass filters are going to be subject to a frequency-dependent delay. So again, we're mixing back in a delayed copy of the original audio. But it's not going to be as short as the flanger, so it doesn't create as much of a comb filtering style effect. Now, we can choose the number of stages or the number of notches in the phaser. We can't do that for the flanger. It just gives you a different kind of vibe when you use different stage numbers here. Now, for the phaser, we have the stages option as well. That's not available for the flanger. Now, the stages is going to set the number of all-pass filters that are going to be used by the phaser. So every stage is going to create a single comb filter, peak, and notch combination. So you can have 2, 4, 6, or 8 different peaks and notches. That just gives you a different flavor. Now, the center frequency is important. Now, for the flanger, this is going to determine where the peaks and notches are going to be placed. And for the flanger, they're going to be placed above this point. So if we have the center frequency here, we're going to be creating peaks and notches above 1.4 kilohertz. Now, for the phaser, it's going to be around the center point that the peaks and notches are going to be added in. Now we can choose to raise or lower the left channel's center frequency in a similar way as we saw for filter shaper. Check out that awesome kind of stereo width that's being added. Compare it to no stereo control being added. Really nice. And the feedback control is going to feed the delay line or the all-pass filters back into themselves, which is going to intensify the depth of the peaks and the notches. So here the peaks and notches are quite subtle, whereas with the feedback up, you see the effect is much more pronounced. We can hear the same thing for the phaser as well. Now, what's important to note here as well is in a similar way to filter shaper, we can use the LFO to modulate the center and also the feedback control. So you see we get two separate LFOs for each one of these. So let's have a look at creating a kind of sweep using the phaser. So we'll do this over, let's say 2 bars. Let's make it a little bit longer. Pretty cool. Let's try the same thing with the flanger. That's a pretty cool effect. Very, very creative. Now, of course, we can use the envelope follower with this as well. We'll come back to that when we look at the envelope follower. So this is a great one to try out, just say on drums. So let's grab the drum stem here. Just copy this across. So even as a static effect, let's put this to basic. Can be a really cool way of adding in some kind of interesting robotic style effects. Let's try some of the more complex kind of waveforms here. Now, of course, there's nothing stopping us from just adding this in to certain areas of the frequency spectrum. Remember, this is just working on the drums. And we could also mix this in parallel. So really creative. That's just working on the drum stem, and you can hear how much interest it's adding in there. So to recap, the LiquidShaper allows you to work with a flanger and a phaser to add in some really cool, complex kind of movement into your sounds. Now, the flanger mixes in a copy of the original audio with a short delay applied. The phaser works with all pass filters, again with delays applied to those as well, which is mixed back in. And with the phaser, we have stages, which is the number of peaks and notches that we're adding back in. We can do this positively or negatively. So it's either the center frequency dictating where the first peak is or where the first notch is. And the center frequency is basically determining where this processing is being applied. The stereo control allows you to pitch either up or down the left channel to create some nice stereo width. And feedback allows you to increase the depth of the peaks and the notches by feeding the delayed sound back into itself. We can apply this on a band by band basis, and we can use the mix control to dial in our bands to the level that we want. And remember, obviously we use our LFO to create sweeps or complex rhythmic effects using LiquidShaper, whatever it is we're looking to achieve. And we'll come back to the envelope follower when we have a look at the envelope follower. Okay, so that is the LiquidShaper covered. In the next video, we're going to have a look at CrushShaper. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.